Hey everyone, it's so nice to see you. It's been such a long time since we've reconnected. I'm so sorry for the delay. I promised to upload another video, but I didn't really have time because I was very busy due to personal matters and due to working and preparing for new adventures. As you can see right now, I'm currently traveling and I'm still on out of the country at the moment. And I wanted to share about what else I could say about what happens when you settle down in South Korea. But yeah, other than that, I apologize for the background noises, but it's pretty nice out. Summer's almost over, and then back to reality. But anyways, I wanted to share that one of the first things I recommend that if you settle down in South Korea is to join Facebook. If you don't have Facebook, that's okay, but Facebook has been helping a lot for myself when I taught English abroad there in South Korea, because it got me to an idea on how to connect with people throughout the community in the city that I lived in, which was Gimhae, if you watched the last video. One of the best things about joining Facebook is that there are a lot of different groups, teachers in South Korea, expats in South Korea, and lots and lots and lots and more. You just have to figure out which one you have to join. But more particularly the city that you are currently situated. I think that's more easier. But other than that, if you're curious to know about other places too, in case if you decide to change your mind, hey, maybe the city is not the best for me, I want to go to different cities, more than welcome to join other groups as well. However, there are a lot of restrictive processes because they do want to see what kind of person you are if you're joining the group. But other than that, if you're just saying, hey, expat, just trying to, move to a different city in SK and see how it goes. But yeah, when I joined Facebook while I was living abroad in South Korea, I remember I saw a lot of comments and posts, and it was pretty interesting because it got me to think about what I could do while I'm there. It actually helped me to find new friends, which I'll never forget, and it helped me to look at some things in relations to news related or things like that. Another thing I remember with joining Facebook is that there were so many people from different parts of the county or the city, and they wanted to ask some questions on how to get to things. So Facebook is a must, and also it gives you more of a reliable tool for you to navigate on how you can situate yourself comfortably. The second thing I wanted to mention about is that as soon as you arrive to South Korea, like when you sign your contract, when you found your school, when you're situated, is to make sure you get your resident card, which is the visa that they give you from the school. They have to, because that way you're able to have your own phone number, you can open a bank account, and you can start doing more things that you can do while you're settling down there. The very first thing that I recommend and I love and I miss so much is Coupang. Coupang is an online website where where it's kind of like a shopping center, kind of like the Amazon, but except way more better, because I love it so much. Because I remember when I did groceries there, I would get things on my doorstep. Specifically things like eggs, milk, and certain things that I couldn't eat, but they were available, particularly foods that I cannot eat while I was there. But I remember I would get everything, whatever I could, and it would just come by the next day or this morning or tomorrow. So Coupang is amazing. However, there are some things that you cannot purchase because you are not a Korean national. But if you do try to look into the rockets, preferably the blue rockets, the green rockets, if you remember, they have so many different kinds, and it's just amazing. Because I remember I would just order some stuff and then it would just come back really fast. Another thing I really love while I was settling down there is once they've given you a a new resident card and you have a phone number, there's a lot of phone companies available. I mean, I've used a very old one, but I will write that down in the description box later on. It discusses about how to join a Kakao Talk. Kakao Talk is pretty easy. Basically, it's more of a WhatsApp version of South Korea, kind of like WeChat in China, and then they have Line Friends and Real Talk, I believe, but I got confused by one of them. But Kakao Talk I still have, but sometimes things could happen due to security issues. When you have a phone number, back to the whole thing I told you about, the reason why it's very important to have a phone number, it's that when you have a phone number in South Korea, it's like connected to everything. You need a phone number for your bank, you need a phone number for your Kakao Talk, you need a phone number for Coupang, which I've mentioned the previous item before. I thought that having a phone number would have been more, wouldn't be so much of a big deal, but it is, because it's due to security purposes, and they just want to make sure who is using the phone number, because since you're here, you know, why not? I remember when I had a bank card, I had to, it really ruined everything a little bit, because when I couldn't use my phone, or when I removed the SIM out of the phone, it was very bad. So don't ever do that, because you have to start all over, and it gets really, really hectic, because that's how it started from the first basis. But with the phone number, I like it because with Kakao Talk is that you are able to have other things available, because Kakao Talk is also another an app where they have shopping places too as well. Like, I remember it was very easy to do Kakao Taxi, which I really miss, because the drivers that I've met in South Korea there were super, super nice, and they were very friendly and very easygoing. Not just because they were doing their jobs, but they were just doing their best to get to, you know me, where I was from. And I remember, you know, there was differences of dealing with Kakao taxi drivers from all the way from the Gyeonggi-do area and all the way from the Gyeongsamni-do area, so from like Busan area to Seoul area. So you know what I'm talking about. And I really miss it because it was just very fast, very connective. It was like the different kind of Uber, but they were really reliable. The T-Money card, if you take buses, you can use your bank card as a bus card if you want, and they will show the amount of balance they'll deduct by the end of the month, the same time you usually get your salary or whatever. The T-Money card, I used it, I had it with me, and I used it maybe not so much, but it was pretty helpful because they had these cute, you know, characters. Sometimes they had the Kakao characters, like the lion and the peach. But I remember a friend of mine had the Pokemon version, and it was really cool. But it was just easy to use it just to go on the bus, and that way you can be on track on certain things. Another thing I remember was the T-Money card. It could be available for various different kinds of convenience stores, such as GS, maybe GS Convenience, that's what I remember, GS25. GS25, you know. And what's the other one? E-Mart, they probably have one in E-Mart, and probably most of the subway stations when you go by. I remember there was like so many different kinds of ways of trying to get it, but it's useful. When you have a balance left and you've decided to leave the country, I think you're supposed to reload it up to maybe 10,000 won, and then you have to pay another fee and then get it back, but I'm not so sure. I will double check that. I'm just writing some things down. I have a little notepad, but basically I did that because I remember I had to pay a little extra just to get that 10,000 won back, because I had some left and I don't know if I was going to use it again, but I wanted to keep it as a souvenir at least, you know, that way I could just keep it for memory. But I think I still have it around, or I must have gave it to someone. But actually, when you try to get your money back from the, you know, T-Money card, usually the person that's working at the store, they take the card back, and it happens. But I remember I had like a couple, so I think I have one at my old place, but the other one I must have returned it back because there wasn't there was just any use of it left. But other than that, you know, those are some options to think about. The other thing I wanted to mention about is that there's a lot of apps on where you want to buy things or sell things. Like for example, when I mentioned about Coupang is very helpful because you can find your own, you can buy your own air fryer, you can buy your own things, you can buy many things that's available there too at the store. That way you don't have to carry so much and, you know, bring so much stuff to your place. They'll deliver it for you. Another thing I would recommend is the Carrot app. There are a lot of other expats that are leaving the country or moving to a different city in South Korea. I was very good at selling things because I remember I bought so many things in while I was there, and I bought some stuff from Amazon, and then I remember I had so much stuff left. I said, okay, I got to give some things back. What can I do? So I joined the Carrot app, and many customers, not only, you know, expats but Korean customers who were wonderful. They were easygoing and reflexive, and flexible about how to, you know, get some items from your places. What I would suggest is that when you do a Carrot app, there's going to be security purposes, and if people do try to like you know, waste your time on getting things, then don't matter. I mean, there's so many ways on how to get rid of your stuff. You can post them on Facebook. It happens because, you know, people buy things all the time and then they don't have time to resell it. Coupang, what I love about Coupang though, however, is that I remember I would purchase something and it's not something that I wanted, and I would put it back and they would return it, and they would either exchange it for you or they would give you your refund. But that's something that I often remember a lot. So that's something that I really wanted to share about. But yeah, if you have any more questions about, you know, what else could I do while I'm settling down in Korea? Like, can I explore places? Can I go? Of course you can, as long as it's not working time. But I'm sure, you know, there are things running up so late, which I miss. Oh, another thing I mentioned is that some shopping centers, they close up until 11 p.m. Very different from where I'm from in Canada, because shopping centers close at 9 p.m. But there, it's like they close at 11. And it's amazing because you can pick up some groceries, and sometimes the prices change at a certain time, so it's always good to check. One of the places I remember was Lotte Mart. Lotte Mart is one of the grocery places, supermarkets, and then they had like an upstairs Uniqlo, so that was pretty interesting. But other than that, I think that's basically about it. But if you have any other questions, I mean, I'll think about some more in the meantime. I'm so sorry, but as of now, I am heading out and I'm gonna go meet my friend who lives here in Turkey. That's where I'm at right now, and we're gonna go on a boat, and yeah, and it should be fun. So we'll see, and I will keep you posted on more of my travel adventures. I was thinking to do like, you know, a travel adventure series about, you know, reviews and updates about places I've stayed, and if you have any questions about that. But other than that, you know, feel free to post on the on the comment section, and then we shall see. Oh my god, I look orange. Okay, it's time to go. Bye.